What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. Today, we're going to talk about a really sensitive airdrop that has a high likelihood of earning you a life-changing amount of money. Think like Arbitrum or Jito. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you pay attention for the next couple minutes before we get into the video. Make sure you like it, make sure you share it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to keep getting more great alpha, and also make sure you do your own research after watching, because this is not financial advice. And today we're talking about the new paradigm initiative on the Manta Pacific network, and this is a layer 2 of Ethereum on Celestia. It's the first one. Now, it's going to use a similar mechanism to another protocol called Blast, if you've heard of it, where you lock up some of your Ethereum for a few months and you earn a bunch of rewards. Now, there's a bunch of people out there that are making videos and threads about this in the attempt to show referral codes because there is an incentivization network. I want to make sure that you have the full picture, you know exactly what's involved, and you know how to do it step by step. And in the end, if you decide to join this, I'll provide my own referral codes, and I'm going to be doing my own reward structure because of the way this works. I want to make sure that I know who's joined because of their Twitter accounts and stuff. I'll be able to give you guys some of your referral incentive back, which you wouldn't get if you use anybody else's codes. So this is me trying to help you guys back out. Also, it also helps the channel, but I'll explain that in a bit. So full disclaimer, you will need about 0.01 Ethereum minimum or 25 USDC, as well as any related like gas fees, right? So when you're bridging or any sort of interactiveness. Just so you guys know, you only have until January to deposit these tokens. At that point, we don't know when. They haven't confirmed what exact date it is, but that's the date where the cutoff happens. So you're unable to deposit after the fact, and you can't bridge out any of those tokens that you sent in until March. But don't worry, the rewards are insane. I'm about to show you them. So this is basically the real L2 that helps you earn way more yield than normal. And you can see on this graph here, typically other L2s, you actually lose money by staking. Over here, you get your fixed native yield, which is sort of the 3.5% you get from Ethereum. You'll get your managed reward, which I strongly believe that they've undervalued. Some of the calculations from people will indicate, I think it's around like $2 per sort of Manta token. Sorry about that. I just had to close Discord. It was beeping a ton. Then you have the ecosystem native yield, ecosystem incentive, and restaking. So we're going to go through some of that. Some of that stuff is risky. Some of it is not. And I want to make sure that you're aware of all the pitfalls before we get into it. But just by going through this, I want to make sure you can see. Yeah, you can. New paradigm is the Blast we all wanted, right? So compared to Blast to income streams, Blast is the other protocol we talked about. New paradigm offers penta yield, right? So the base yield, 4 to 5% fixed yield on ETH and stable coins, double yield airdrop incentives. So Blast, they haven't given any details. New paradigm gives you in the form of an airdrop. You also get triple yield through like DeFi composability. So when you send your Ethereum, you send your ETH or your USDC over, ETH will get you Stone ETH, USDC will get you USDM. You're able to collateralize that and earn even more rewards. There's all these other extra stuff you can do. I would not recommend that you get into into lending. So you can supply, but you don't want to borrow because you can almost liquidate yourself if you don't know what you're doing. And I'm going to imagine that a lot of people are just here for the rewards. So I want to keep it as simple as possible. Okay. There's a ton more things here. So their ecosystem partners are insane, right? Powered by Layer Zero, Egan Layer, Coinbase, Fireblocks, Trusta. They got a full audit. So if you want to check that out, you can actually click here and you can see the full audit on their Google Drive. So there are new paradigm contracts being audited. So you can go through every single thing here if you'd like to. Um, and then finally, the team and backers and sort of why, right? So it's the first L2 to introduce composability for yield bearing tokens, creating maximum efficiency and rewards for users depositing ETH and stablecoins. With over 30 million in total value locked already in the live network and much, much more, which we'll get into, this is an opportunity to unlock native yield unlike anywhere seen before. And remember, I always tell you guys, if it seems too good to be true, always do a ton of investigation, especially if a lot of people are shilling it. That's why I say, at the end of this, do your own research. I've done enough research for myself at this point. It took me a couple days for me to feel confident investing the amount that I did. Once again, you want to sort of do your own risk analysis. So here's the timeline. Phase 1, Jan 2024, you can bridge and deposit ETH or USDC to earn yield in box pieces. The deposit period is open until Jan. Then, within 24 hours, you get your Stone and your WUSDM tokens on the Manta Pacific L2. You can claim Manta token rewards with NFTs until January 2024 before deposit end. And then finally, you get 69 days of Manta token rewards, and then you can withdraw your ETH and USDC back from Stone and USDM. So let's say that you liked it and you sort of, said, okay, I want to check it out. I want to join. Well, you'll need an invite code. And in the description below, I have put 2 links. And like I said, if you are serious, DM me on Twitter. You see it above, the Brown Gent YT. Make sure, if you're serious, and when I say serious, I mean you want to deposit something a little more substantial than 0.01 ETH. There's a limited number of invite codes. Like I said, I will be rewarding those who use my invite code by giving them some of the incentives back. And we can talk about that after the fact. So if you want that and a code below doesn't work, just let me know, okay? So that's how it works. Once you put the referral code in, you click the link or you type in the 5 letters, you click join now. Invalid invite code. Okay. Not sure what's going on, but you know what? We can always just, we'll just connect over here. See if this works. All right. So we'll go back here. Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna disconnect, connect wallet to continue. So you just see what I've done already, okay? So I've already sort of done my thing. I'm just gonna go in here and sign that this is me, and it's gonna let me in, and I'll show you what you see. In order to join this protocol, you'll need a Twitter account, an invite code. So you put your invite code first, then you put your Twitter. What your Twitter will do is it will let you go to the next step, which is bridging or depositing tokens. So here I'll show you what I can do since it's already in there. This is what you'd see. So you'd see deposit and you'd see withdrawals. I'm going to zoom in a little more. I know some people mentioned that the screen can get blurry sometimes, so I want you guys to see it. Pick your sort of amount. You can put 0.01. I recommend doing a little more than that if possible, because Ethereum gas fees are somewhat brutal. I think it's like $3 or $4 to use the bridge. So you do that, you hit deposit, and then basically what'll happen is it'll get sent to your bridged number. And you can see here that I have bridged 2.02 ETH and 150 USDC. I might bridge a little more USDC. I wanted to really do the ETH part. The reason I have USDC is this is also an airdrop. So when they're giving out their tokens, if part of their gate is also, okay, you bridge some ETH, you bridge some USDC. Now, if I only bridged ETH and I didn't bridge USDC, I put myself at a risk for not earning that part of the airdrop beyond just sort of the Manta tokens we're going to get. I hope that sort of makes sense. Now, here's how the reward structure works. So for every ETH, you get 25 box pieces every week. So you can see here, I put 2.02 ETH in, so I'm getting 52 boxes, two box pieces for the 150 USDC, and then 50 for the 2 ETH every 7 days. Now the box pieces, you need 25 of them, and they auto combine. And when you open those box pieces, you will be getting Manta tokens in rewards. So they've sort of done an estimate, a lot of people who are way smarter than me, to determine that I believe the likely price of Manta on launch is around $2 per token. And you're going to get a bunch of those in those box pieces, as well as NFTs that you can sell on the sort of secondary market. So that's sort of how this works. And then every single time you refer someone, so you can see over here, you have Scarface and Zaylee. Well, what will happen is every time they sort of deposit, you earn some box pieces from them on the original. And then what'll happen right after is you will then, every time they refer someone, you get a piece of that action. So like, let's say Scarface here, who invited, or I invited, he invites somebody who puts in 1 ETH, he would get 4 boxes from them joining right away, and I would get 2. So this is sort of the incentive program. It only works 2 layers out, and then after the fact, that's pretty much it, because they don't want it to sort of just be trickling forever. You only go up to 2 stages. But like I said, if you're wondering why to use one invite code over the other, this is sort of my sort of deal that I'm providing you. Okay. So then what we'll do here is, if you want, that was step 1. Okay. In step 1, we talked about how you bridge things over, and you can end this right here. However, if you want some extra yield, you can actually deposit your stake tokens into a protocol on the bottom of the screen. So any part of the screen here, you'll see ecosystem partners on any page, right? So you put your mouse over, you got QuickSwap, Layer Bank, Shoebill, Pacific Swap, and Azumi Finance. So the one that is the best is Layer Bank. So Layer Bank is the ultimate money market for all EVM layers, Layer Bank. What you have to do here is you select network at the top, pick Manta 2, and what will happen is it will open up the protocol. So if you click on rewards at the top, I just want you to see this here. Layer Bank incentives program on Manta. Earn incentives on Layer Bank by supplying, borrowing, staking. It sort of shows you how many points you get. And then points details. So it'll tell you how many points you'll get for USDM, or Stone, which is the ETH, for TIA over here, and then any sort of common Manta. So this is sort of kind of the approach. This is what you can do. You have like a daily snapshot, you earn points. So this is additional yield that you get. Now, let's say you want to use Layer Bank, because remember, you can supply and you can also borrow. As I mentioned before, when you're supplying over here, you really, really, really don't want to be borrowing, because if you borrow and you screw something up and you put the wrong amount in, you get liquidated. It actually makes them sell your token, and it sort of breaks this entire process. So unless you know exactly what you're doing, just pretend like you cannot borrow. Only supply. Supply means you earn APR, and I think that is sort of one of the things that is super beneficial for this whole thing. Okay. Now, in order to use this protocol or anything on the Manta network, you'll need some Ethereum gas. So what I recommend here is you go to Orbiter Finance. So I'm going to zoom out here, Orbiter Finance, and bridge some ETH over. Now, it doesn't matter where you send the ETH from. As long as the destination address is to Manta, you can pick any chain here. You can pick Linea, ZK Fair, Base, ZK Sig Era, Arbitrum, Starknet, whatever you want. Polygon, Optimism, Immutable X. The whole goal here is, here you want to save money on gas. So if you can avoid using Ethereum, obviously it's kind of better. And you may be wondering, hey, well, you know what? Why don't I just send it over the same way I sent the original Ethereum? Well, any Ethereum you send over through that sort of deposit function will automatically get converted to Stone, right? So if you do that, you're still stuck. So that's why I use Orbiter Finance. And then by doing that, you can send it here. Very, very cheap to send some Ethereum over. My recommendation is you send around like 0.05 to zero point 0.1 Ethereum for gas, not just for like this, but for any sort of transaction. So you don't have to sort of sit there and bridge every time you need something. And very, very simple. Once you've done that, go back to Layer Bank. And in Layer Bank, you go over here back to the bank section. And I've already deposited this, but if you click on Stone, you can see I've already supplied my Stone by going to the, where is this? Yeah, so if you go to the bottom, you can see I supplied Stone 2.0147 Stone, which is sort of the ETH that was converted. I've also done some TIA. The reason I did TIA, by the way, is this is a Celestia protocol, right? And there may be an additional requirement for having a TIA deposit. So I've added that as well. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Once you've added these, so all you do is you click on either Stone or WSDM. In this case, I don't have any WUSDM available right now. It takes about 24 hours for it to show up in your account for you to do it, but then you just hit the amount, hit max, hit available as collateral, and hit supply. And if you forgot to do that and you've already sort of sent it, come to the bottom here, go to supply, check what you've supplied, make sure collateral turned on. This is what earns you those extra sort of supply rewards, okay? So that's pretty much what you have to do on this step. And then you just leave it. To do TIA, I use usenexus.org or hyperlatenexus.org. Sorry, hyperlatenexus at usenexus.org. Shout out to Christian Peter for sending me this site. What you do is you connect your Kepler wallet on the top. You hit connect. You hit a Cosmos. I've selected Kepler here. And then you can send from Celestia to Manta. So I can send like 0.1 TIA, for example, if I wanted to, right? You pick the chain you want. So Celestia, Neutron, Manta, Arbitrum. Then Manta is what I select as a destination. And then you put in your EVM address. This way, it uses your Kepler wallet to send the token from Celestia to like the interface, and then the interface will send to the Manta address, which is EVM based on what the destination address you put here is. Once you've done that, you're pretty much golden. So that's pretty much a wrap for sort of everything here with the new paradigm and all that. Like I said, this is an incredible opportunity, a very time-sensitive opportunity. Deposits end sometime in January. Rewards go all the way till March. And this is going to be a killer airdrop. So make sure you check it out. Remember, I have some invites in the description below. If you want to join my team, you can also DM me for some extra few codes. And for those of you who have signed up starting today, moving forward, I'm going to have those exciting rewards available for any of you who make deposits. So with that, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. Make sure that if you haven't already, you like the video, you share the video, you subscribe to the channel for some more in-depth alpha. And I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.